Hello and welcome into today's edition of Cronkite Sports Spotlight on triathlonlive.tv. My name is Misha Jones alongside my lovely co-anchor, Miss Sarah Abbott. We're going to get you warmed up for a day full of Women's Collegiate Triathlon Championship coverage.
That's right. We have an exciting show for you with an inside look of what it takes to train like a triathlete, key athletes to focus on in the races, and a breakdown of the different teams competing today. But first, let's take a look at the course.
All right, so first participants will swim a 750-meter lap in Tempe Town Lake. Then they'll transition to a 20-kilometer bike ride, which will take them across the bridge, around the park, back toward the start, and then up along the hills on Curry Road and back down to Lakeside. Then they'll begin the last leg of the race, a 5-kilometer run around the western end of Tempe Town Lake and finish once and for all at the North Shore.
So what's it like to train like a triathlete? Let's just say our very own Tyler Mannion found out the hard way.
It's obvious triathlon is an incredibly demanding sport, but just how do these athletes prepare for race day? Well, it's time to find out, but not in these clothes. That's better. Let's start with running. So, what makes this team so good?
I think we all push each other and we all want to see each other succeed and be the fastest, and so I think just that competitiveness inside of the team helps us.
When you're in meet, in race, are you thinking anything at all, or are you just blank?
Oh, I'm thinking about how much it hurts. No, and when it'll be over.
These girls are crazy. All right, I think we're gonna try to go with the last girl here. She's really cool though. Outrunning the golf cart, no big deal. Hey, it's Ray Anderson. No big deal, it's the athletic director.
Running was done and it was on to day 2, which meant it was time to bike. The team did 13 miles to get to the workout while I sat in the car with head coach Cliff English. Then, it was time for me to try the hill workout the girls had been doing.
Let's go.
I just hope he doesn't crash my bike.
I know, I'm worried for you, Coach.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. He seems like he knows how to brake, so that's good.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Disaster, got toasted. All I did was sit in the car, come here, be like, oh yeah, we'll be good. Just bike up a hill or something. We were not good. We were not good at all.
With weary legs, day 2 was done and there was only swimming to go, which was the next day's task. After getting invited into the team huddle, it was time to warm up with one of the best swimmers on the team.
You want to do a fast 25 and see if you can keep up with me?
Yeah, watch me not keep up with you more like it. We're ready for nationals.
Oh, for sure.
That's a half-mile swim. That's a 13-mile bike ride and a 3-mile run back to back to back. Again, we did them over 3 days. I don't know how it's possible. I'm exhausted right now just from our little warm-up swim. But for now, for me, Tyler Mannion, Cronkite Sports.
Well, that looked exhausting. I do not envy you, Tyler. What do you think, Sarah?
I think Tyler looked a little out of his league, but just to be clear, I would be too, so.
Now let's go to Jack Johnson for a cheat sheet on who to look out for in today's races.
With a record field of 126 student athletes from 25 teams, this year projects to be the most competitive field the Sun Devil Triathlon team has ever faced. But this team has showed no signs of slowing down in their quest for a four-peat, and that's largely because the team returned so much from their championship team last year. For ASU, it all starts with junior Hannah Henry, the two-time defending individual champion. She won her most recent race, the Eastern Regional in Virginia, to notch her first win of the season after missing time earlier this year to compete with the Canadian national team. Liberty Rica is another athlete that stands out. The freshman from Colorado finished second to Henry in the East Regional by only 4 seconds. Although this is her first national championship race, the freshman is no stranger to the podium in big events. She placed third in junior nationals this year, one spot behind teammate Kira Stanley, who also is riding a strong season into this race. And of course, there is Kyla Roy, a Canadian teammate of Henry. Roy is probably her best competition for the top spot on the podium after she has secured 2 wins already this year. She finished just off the podium last year in this race, so she's carrying a little extra motivation with her this time around. When we talk about athletes to watch out for in this race, look out for the team with the Pitchfork logo. And you won't have to look hard either. Good chance they'll be up front. Now we send it over to Cronkite sports reporter Ali Krusniak with details on how these individual athletes put the importance of the team first.
To the likes of many, swimming, biking, and running is an individual accomplishment. And to NCAA Triathlon, while you may be timed individually, you're scored as an overall group, and that's been embedded in the minds of the women on the Sun Devil Triathlon team.
Here in Tempe, ASU Triathlon head coach Cliff English has cultivated a culture in which the 12 women on his team are not only concerned by her final time, but the overall welfare of the group, despite the competitive atmosphere that comes with the sport.
Being an NCAA sport that scores as a team, similarly to cross country, I think a lot of the girls, it's new for them, but they actually really enjoy it. It makes your performance mean a little more than just your individual performance for yourself. You're thinking about how you're scoring for the team. You're thinking about your teammates. I find you can really see that with our girls. You get one finishing, and they'll immediately turn around waiting for a teammate, and it's definitely a really good environment that's taken shape here.
And the dynamic of being a Sun Devil triathlete is about more than just support on the course. It's also about how you can help your teammates in other aspects of life as well.
Individually, the triathletes know how important it is to take care of your body, especially leading up to a big race. But that doesn't stop them from holding one another accountable.
Sometimes, if I had a bad run and we're going straight into a swim, I just don't feel like eating, so I'll just be hanging out in the devil room. But then one of my teammates will be like, "Yo, Kira, you gotta eat, you gotta refuel."
English also says that one of the most important things when leading up to a big race is consistency in your training and your lifestyle.
The thing is, when you're getting ready for the big race, I think the biggest part of it is not doing anything different. I know that sounds super weird, but it's one of those where you kind of actually just have to keep it on cruise control, do the same thing that you've done for every other race, every other competition. You kind of have to treat it, this is no different than every other day that they've gone out to race.
And because they train together every day, it isn't hard to keep that team-like energy around them as they lead into the national championship. Because while they race on their own, they share their successes as a team. In Tempe, I'm Ali Krusniak, Cronkite Sports.
Triathlon is on its way to becoming a fully recognized NCAA championship-sponsored sport. In 2014, 14 schools began participating in triathlons. It's considered an emerging sport by the NCAA, with an increasing amount of schools participating in triathlons each year. However, 40 schools must participate in the sport by the year 2024 to reach championship status. And currently, only 31 schools compete in triathlons, leaving only a few spots remaining before it is considered an NCAA championship-sponsored sport. Next, Ethan Ryder will give us an inside look of the different types of teams competing in the events.
The dominance of collegiate women's triathlon by 3-time defending champions ASU is well known. What may not be known is the other 30 schools that also compete through a varsity team. Today, 25 of those 30 teams in Division I, Division II, and Division III all find themselves racing at the national championships. However, the division won't all be racing at the same time. The first collegiate race of the day is solely Division III. This division holds a 3-time defending champion in North Central College. In 2019, they've continued that dominance by winning both the East and Central region qualifiers. This race will be followed by both Division II and Division I schools. In Division II, it isn't quite a one-horse race. While Queen's University of Charlotte is the team to beat, 3 schools will be looking to challenge them this year. Colorado Mesa University took first place in the West Regional Qualifier, while Davis and Elkins College and Drury University both took first place in the East Regional Qualifier and Central Regional Qualifier respectively. All 3 teams will be vying for that D2 National Championship alongside Queens. No matter what happens, teams from all 3 divisions will take some pride in competing for a national championship.
Thank you, Ethan, for that insight into the teams we'll see competing in today's races. And without further ado, we'll close out our time here in studio and send you to Tempe, where the Women's Collegiate Triathlon Championship is set to begin here in just a few moments. For Sarah Abbott and the rest of our crew, I'm Misha Jones, and this has been a special edition of Cronkite Sports Spotlight. Thanks for watching.